Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another OCC podcast. I am your host, David Jansen, and today joining us is a man going hot onto the arm wrestling scene, Riekerd Bornman. How are you doing, brother?
G'day, sir. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it. Let me just put my phone on Do Not Disturb. There we go.
It's a pleasure having you on. Give us a little bit of your background before maybe your childhood and stuff. Where do you come from and how were you raised?
I was born and raised in South Africa. Spent about 19 years of my life there. And growing up, I really enjoyed the sport of rugby. I think it's still this day, it's still running in my blood. Always wanted to be the best. I did pretty well and decided to come over to Australia to give it a go. Unfortunately, things didn't work out the way I would like it to. And I've been in Australia for 2.5, going 3 years now, studying, but with the idea of obviously pursuing a career in rugby. And when that all fell apart, I decided to join the arm wrestling community, and now I'm competing on the biggest stage in the world. It's unreal.
That is crazy, especially getting there that quickly. How did you get into rugby as a child? Was it an interest that you had growing up? Was that interest brought to you by your family? How did that come?
So I think it's every little kid's dream to play for the national team one day. The Springboks. I think rugby is a big thing in South Africa. We are really passionate about it, and we do enjoy it. So from a young age, you want to get into it, and you want to be the best and tackle someone and run over someone, and it's just a fun game. It's a massive tradition in South Africa, and it's something we really pride ourselves on.
Oh, that's awesome. I know in North America we don't really have rugby at that level. And there's many differences between it and American football. Growing up in Africa, are you bilingual?
Yes. I speak Afrikaans. It's my home language. Yeah.
And what is that language similar to?
Dutch. Dutch or German. Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Yes. There's a lot of similarities in a lot of different languages with Afrikaans, but it's something we created ourselves. A long time ago. But yeah, when someone speaks Dutch, you can more or less get what they are saying. So it's similar, but I think it's a bit more soft on the tongue than Dutch.
Oh, very nice. I myself am trilingual, multilingual, and so yeah. How is it growing up in the Southern Hemisphere? Obviously Australia is known to be similar to what they say North America, but is it very different from South Africa?
Massive difference, man. It was a massive culture shock for me. I mean, I love my country, South Africa, and I think I'm probably going back end of this year to live a life with my parents and my brother, growing up and just be there for him. I initially came over to Australia to try something. I won't say I failed, but I just can't wait to go back to my home country to spend my time with the ones I love the most. But yes, it was a massive culture shock for me. Different cultures, different backgrounds. I mean, South Africa is diverse. Don't get me wrong. I think we have something like 11 official languages. You see, the thing is, Australia is not a bad country, and you can compare it to the West, the lifestyle, but compared to South Africa, it's a massive culture shock. I don't want to go into too much, but it's a massive difference.
Oh, very well. And then, obviously, before you got into arm wrestling, you must have watched it. How did you get in contact with those known names in Australia, like Lachlan Adair, Ryan Bowen, and so on and so forth?
Okay, so as a kid growing up, you've always been arm wrestling on the tables, on the couch. It's a thing you do with your dad and with your friends at school, and so it's a thing to test your strength, and I think most men enjoy doing that. And so that's how it started for me. And I never knew that there was a professional side of it. Never, ever, ever. I only thought it's a bar sport. And this one day, I was just laying on my bed watching YouTube, and WAL popped up, and it was Devin versus Dave Chafee, and Michael Todd versus Dave Chafee, Devin Larry versus Jerry Cadderat. And that's when I fell in love with the sports. And I can't tell you how long ago that was, but I knew from that day on that this is something I'm really interested in. I've never seen myself being a professional in it, but I was a massive fan and still am, and watching it all the time and keeping up to date with all the latest news.
Oh, that's awesome. And then obviously we've seen, or those that follow you, seen you start to practice with the general people, known people anyways, in Australia. How did it go from practicing with them to becoming the champ of Australia? Because to me, it seemed like from a distance, obviously watching it here from North America and stuff, it seemed like that was a very short time span. But how was it for you to come up, and obviously you lost your career in rugby, but how was it that you so quickly made that change over to arm wrestling and got the chance to pull for a title?
That's it's really interesting actually. So we went to let's say a festival. There was a lot of food and shows and everything there, and then we saw arm wrestling. Okay, and back then I was still trying to come back into the rugby, so the full time was rugby, no arm wrestling. And I decided, you know what, I've done this a bit in South Africa. Let me just try for the fun. And I signed up, and I got away with a win, and I won the tournament, and really happy with myself. And I can still remember a few days after that, Ryan sent me a message. And I'm like, wow, this is really cool. I mean, I've been watching this guy's videos forever, and now he's reaching out to me. So yes, I think the tournament was on the Saturday, and the next Wednesday I was going to the club. And I'm so lucky, man, because I mean the club was only about 30 minutes from me. And I went to the club and met Lachlan Adair, met Ryan Bowen for the first time. And man, great people, and they taught me so much and got me even more excited for the sport. And I think it was about 2 weeks or 3 weeks in, and they said, listen here, or Ryan told me, he said, listen here, we have something called AWE, and we would like you to pull there. And this was massive for me, man. This is like, and knowing what's going on in East versus West, and you know that people is buying pay-per-view to be on the main stage, and I felt part of the community of being on the stage, you know, being an athlete. And AWE gave me the opportunity, and yes, they flew me out to Adelaide. I had the competition, and I fell in love with the sport. Even though I lost, I could feel that. Listen, yeah, this is something I truly love, and it was hard for me. I mean, that was the first time that I've ever lost by myself. Because normally when you play rugby, you lose as a team, and you carry the loss with each other. And this was the first time I had to carry it by myself. So it's quite interesting how the sports are different. But yes, after that, I went back to the drawing board, started investing my time in arm wrestling. Not as much as I could have, but I've started paying more attention and just working towards something. And yes, and then everything started from there on.
And then after you lost the match, that was to Mario Tumbakas there. Yeah, and then you came back shortly after that, and then you were in a tournament, right? Was it an 8-man tournament?
Yes. So it's called the Grand Prix. It was called the Grand Prix. So it's a 8-man not super heavyweight, let's say heavyweight tournament. And yes, man, let's see who's the best. So it's actually really cool. And coming into the first one, I was sick, and no one gave me any chances. And that was quite interesting. I thought, you know what, I'm getting the opportunity. Let's just go and enjoy it. And Yes, I won that one, and there was quite a few big names in there, and I was really stuck with myself. And after that, I just made it normal to beat someone, and I think that switch in the mindset helped me quite a bit. It does. You have to talk big, but then you have to back it as well, you know. And from there on, I've been enjoying it, and I believe that I'm the best in this country after that day. So I think that's been helping me out significantly.
So you're the man that says he's the best in Australia. Then do you also believe you're the best in the Southern Hemisphere?
I'm definitely the best in South Africa and in Australia, definitely.
Well,
And if anyone disagrees, set up the matches and we'll see. I mean, it's a joke I make. I'm still a young man and I'm really confident, but I actually believe that I'm truly the best in this country and in South Africa. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from the previous number ones. I mean, Lachlan is a legend, and but I think at the end of the day, he needs to get bigger and to have that match with me, because he's a light 105 now. So I would say he at least needs to gain a few kgs. Otherwise, it won't even be close. I mean, I trained with him all the time, so I know exactly. And then Terence in South Africa. I mean, Terence has been number one in South Africa, I think, since 2009. So I'm not taking anything away from them, but I'm super motivated and I'm on the right path. I know that for a fact. So if you want to set up the match and to show me that you're better than me, do it. And I'm more than happy to have it. But for now, I'm the best.
So who would be the toughest match for you between Wagner Bortolato, Lachlan Adair, Terence Opperman, or your brother?
You know, Wagner's the unknown. Wagner's unknown. I mean, I've seen a lot of him. I've seen a lot of Terence as well. I think Lachlan would be at the bottom of the list because I had some training with him, a lot of training with him. So I understand the way he pulls. He understands the way I pull. I know where I'm strong. I know where I'm weak against him. Then second, this could be either two. I mean, I think Wagner is probably stronger than Terence, but I think Terence is a bit smarter and more diverse. Or not diverse, he has more lanes. So I would say the hardest match on that list would probably be Terence, and I think that would be one of the biggest achievements of my life to get that match. You know, if I win it, and I will win it. To be number one in your home country, I think that's the biggest thing you can ever do. I mean, my brother, he's already a double national champion. He won his juniors, and after that they said, "Listen, yeah, go compete in the senior men 105," and he stepped away with the title as well. So he's a national champion before I am. So it's a special title to have, and I truly hope that I get the opportunity to showcase that and to prove people wrong and show them that, listen, yeah, anything is possible.
Well, that's incredible. I personally, watching you over the last year, I believe you could take them all on, but you have stepped past those goals because you're not able to have those matches currently, or they're not getting set up. And you've had a very
I appreciate that we're on the same level. You see, we can see.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. They already know it as well. They just back themselves as they should. But I'm happy that you see it with me.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a point in time where, regardless of people want to say that arm wrestling, you can't just stack one person against the other and A versus B beat C. But at some point, you got to see who you beat. And I don't think that Lachlan Adair is beating Marcio Barbosa very easy. And Wallace Stilley toyed with him, and you beat Wallace Stilley, maybe not easily, but comfortably. And so there at some point there is a strength gap, and I think you were definitely on top of that strength gap, is what I noticed watching a lot of that.
Cheers, I appreciate it. And another interesting thing is, I mean, Pablo lost to Marcio at Knuckles Up, and then Wallace beat Marcio in a in a spectacular fashion. I mean, he made Marcio look like a child, to be totally honest about it. And I can remember the day before my match with Wallace, we gave Marcio a call to ask him, listen, what happened there? Is this guy really just that strong? And Marcio gave us his input. But let me tell you, Wallace is probably the strongest guy I've ever gripped up with. He's different, man. He's a big human being, and everything is solid. He can still work on his top roll, but that's probably it. His hand is super strong, his elbow is super strong, and he's a big human being. I mean, he's about 10 kgs heavier than me, and I could see it and feel it on the day. It was really, really incredible.
Yeah, it was a very incredible match to watch, and not only was it incredible to watch because I'm a huge fan of yours, but also because the match, you had it, you won a round, then he won a round, and then you came back, changed up technique, and you showed that mid-match, even maybe not that you were as comfortable in the different techniques that you chose, but you're able to take it and exploit the other person. And I think that is, in arm wrestling, a key to success is when you can change it up. You can't always stay with one move. At some point in time, somebody will learn how to counter that move. That comes with fighting. That comes with all kinds of martial sports. You have to be able to change it up. And I think that was very incredible how you were able to do that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And I feel exactly the same way, actually. I mean, I feel that I'm an actual legit arm wrestler now. I had to adjust to win a match. And that was pretty significant for me, because as an arm wrestler, you know what to do, but sometimes it's hard to execute it. And in that match, it went perfectly. And I have so much confidence in my top roll now. It's insane, man. I mean, go show me one video where I top roll on the stage when I compete. It doesn't happen often. I mean, I've adjusted to a hook press scenario, you know, and to adjust on the biggest stage I've been on was incredible and significant in that moment. I was so happy because I could feel that, listen, my elbow doesn't want to compete for center anymore. It just doesn't want to do it anymore. And yes, I made a couple of technical errors in that match. Watching it back, just before getting on, I watched the match again. So I've been watching that match so much, man. Just seeing myself top roll and hitting that perfect spot, just pulling into the strap is something you need to feel it when you arm wrestle, but it's important to see what adjustments you made, how you set up, and especially going against Pavlo with a really strong top roll. It's important to set up correctly and to make sure that I'm quicker than him and I get the necessary positions.
Yeah, I think very much a lot of people underestimate the setup a lot from what I watch. I can see many times in certain matches where somebody will set up perfectly and the other person kind of just doesn't care. They come to set up because they believe that as long as they get set up fair by the referees, that it will win. But there's so many different moves.
Yeah, this much in the setup. And be this much after the go. I promise you. I've felt it so many times.
And depending on how the strap is tightened down and everything, that can make a huge, incredible difference. And so a lot of those things, if people really learn to practice them and execute them in practice and think of them, and I'm a huge believer of practicing it in your head as well, mentally feeling it, going through the motions, and then executing it on the table as well. I believe that both of those together can really help execute an amazing plan.
Of course, I think that's probably one of the most important things, because it's something you can do without getting physically tired. I mean, scenarios is going through my head every single day. I mean, when the poster got released of me and Pavlo, it was just a bit too much for me. I think I played the scenario in my head over and over and over and over and over again, and there wasn't any shut-off time, you know. And for about a week, I gave myself just a little bit of, how can I say, a shutdown, and not thinking about anything, just focusing on life, because it just got too much for me. And now this morning I'm just back into it and fully focused on the match again. And now it's time to build up and to build that aggression. Because Pablo is a really good guy, but I want this win really bad, and I don't care who's on the table. I'm taking it.
No, I agree. I think that you have to want it, and you have to want it badly. I think that coming into it with extreme determination and stuff and executing, that is awesome. I'm not only a fan of arm wrestling, but a huge fan of strongman as well. And there's a South African that I'm a huge fan of in strongman also very much now, Rain O'Neill. Do you know him at all or anything?
No, unfortunately not. And I was so, how could I say? I was so sad when I saw that he's going to be on the event, and not on the arm wrestling card, but he's going to be there, and I'll get the opportunity to meet him. And unfortunately, he pulled out. And but I'll definitely get the opportunity someday to meet him. I'll go out of my way to do it. I mean, if there's someone to help him become an arm wrestler, I'll put my hand up first. You know. I mean, I love strength sports. Since 16-year-old, I tried my best to be as big and strong as possible, you know. And I think there's so much I can learn from him. And definitely, if he wants to get into arm wrestling, I think I do know a bit. But yes, that's really sad that he won't be there. But on the other hand, there's so many cool guys that's gonna be there that I've been looking up to since forever, you know. So it's like a dream come true.
Yeah, well, definitely, if you are into strength sports, you will be sharing the stage with some of the best to have ever done it in the strongman community. And what are your thoughts on that? At the same time, some people might think that, well, this arm wrestling card isn't going to be holding some of the most elite super matches in the world, but it will be holding some of the most elite strengths in the world, men that have accomplished incredible feats, such as Eddie Hall, Robert Oberst, Martin Leitz, and Brian Shaw. So many more. Yeah.
It's cool, man. I know it's hard for people to appreciate it. I think everyone is entitled to their own opinion. I think sometimes just keep it to yourself, and if you love the sport, support it, no matter what. I think if you're negative, that's not building anything. And do you love it, actually? I think it's really cool that we have the base of the best strength athletes getting into arm wrestling. I think we are really lucky. I mean, Brian Shaw is potentially the best, the strongest man to ever live, the best strong man to ever live. I mean, you have Eddie Hall, the first guy to ever lift a half ton off the ground. It's incredible, man. And then you have so many more athletes that's been dedicating their whole lives to being strong. And they said, listen, yeah, let's take a step back and let's give back to arm wrestling. I think it's really special. And I'm really lucky to be there on that day.
Now, there is a rematch going to happen on the same card that you were on, East vs. West 18, Devin versus Alex. What are your thoughts on the rematch, and how do you see that match going?
Okay, so first of all, you have to sometimes put yourself in the shoes of the guy that lost, and he's watching the match. He's watching the match over and over and over, and I think we all have to understand that both himself and Devin got something out of that match. And both athletes know what they've done wrong, and they felt where there's some weaknesses. I mean, if I was Alex Kadecha, I would, from the start, flop my wrist back and put Devin on the back of the pad, and the only thing he can do is pull his elbow back. And we've seen that 2 times in that match. And if you can just hold it, don't force the pin, but just hold it there, I mean, the pin will come eventually. It has to. It has to. I understand that there will be some fatigue in the arm of Alex Kadecha as well, staying in that position. But sometimes you have to do something that there's no clear answer for, but only time will tell. And I mean, that in that instance, you could see it in both of those scenarios. The only option for Devin was to pull his elbow out. But I think this time, I just get the feeling that Devin has seen that is a problem. And obviously, he will try to deny that as well. And he's coming forward now. I mean, he's done it in that match, and that was incredible to see. Will he start off with that? I don't know. I mean, that takes a big amount of fuel out of the tank. But yeah, I won't be surprised if I see Devin coming forward straight away, for sure.
I was going to say that because at the beginning of the match, initially, Devin was so comfortably taking the hand of Alex Krdecha. And if Alex wants to go with the flop press, if Devin would contest center slightly more and just use a little bit more cup before he drags and goes back, I think I would see it very hard for Alex to come across with that flop press, because Alex, I don't personally see him being able to drive sideways through and be as connected as like Kamil Jablonski and those guys.
Of course, I would agree with you. But yeah, it's really tough, man. I mean, did you see the way the match was started? I mean, I'm not putting that on any of the athletes or the referees. I think it's just a big moment. But that's a significant role. That's a significant deal in that match. I mean, if I start on my side of the table and I'm already like this, I'll be happy, man. I'll be happy and I can swing full force. And then Alex Krdecha, on the other hand, is open and his wrist is almost like this. So it's always tough. I mean, we've spoke about it previously that this much in the setup can mean this much at the end of the day.
No, definitely that. I couldn't agree more. Now, there is another man on this stage that you have already shared a stage with prior to in Australia, and that is Todd Hutchings. I believe you were on the same card as him prior, and he's going against. Yeah, he's going against Dave Chafee. What are your thoughts on a match like that? Obviously, there's different weight categories, but Dave is coming down slightly.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. Dave is a monster truck. I think this is probably one of my favorite matches on the card. If you put mine away. But Dave is super strong. We all know that. But something tells me, and this is what makes it so exciting, is that I think Todd Hutchings, he may take it. I mean, at the end of the day, we know now that practice table doesn't always tell the truth. And Devin has showed it a couple of times. So let's see if this is the case. I think it's going to be an extremely exciting match. I think we both know that the match will end up on the inside eventually. I think if it's going outside, I think Todd even stands a better chance of winning that. But if it goes inside, I think it's gonna be a war, and it's gonna be some power burning on that table.
I couldn't agree more. I think that's going to be an epic match. I've wanted to see matches like that before. It reminds me of some of the matches that happened back in the day at WAL and stuff. And some of those matches were incredible, entertaining, and that is just extremely awesome for me. Then Brian Shaw versus Brandon Allen. When you see a match like that, obviously both of them are coming from strength sports. Brian Shaw is significantly larger of a human. How do you see a match like that going?
I would say, if I haven't seen the recent Brian Shaw and Eddie Hall pool at Arm Wars, I would have said that Brian Shaw is really going to have a hard time getting through that King's move. But just seeing the way that Brian moved on the table at almost not too long ago, that was pretty interesting and scary to see, actually. I mean, it's not hard to beat a King's move, and you just have to stay patient and climb as high as you can. And I mean, is it going to be hard for Brandon to hold that King's move? I mean, Brian is the guy with the longest arm of the sport, if you want to say it. So if he can get as high as he possibly can and just tower down on that King's move, it's not going to be easy to hold it, I promise you.
Yeah, I think so. And then there's a cross weight class match going on with Philip Larson and Matt Mask, the Wild Horse. Extremely explosive versus a new puller coming in from Sweden, I believe.
Yep.
How do you see a match like that one?
I think it's even hard for me to classify Philip as a new guy. That guy is super good, man. He just made Sanders look like a child. and we know Sandris is really strong and an incredible arm wrestler. But yes, at the end of the day, I think Philip is gonna take it. I mean, he's a bigger guy, he's a strong guy. We know Matt is explosive, so if Philip can keep his hand in the setup, I think it's going to be a hard day for Matt Mask. I won't say it will be easy for Philip either, but I do think that Philip will step away with the result. And just a quick fact, I was actually supposed to face Philip. So there was a funny story, but yes, he can be really lucky he didn't face me on that day.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Now that you've been in a couple different leagues, you've arm wrestled with AWE for a while, and I'm guessing you still call them home and stuff, and then going to East vs. West, and now a collaborative event with East vs. West and Strongest Arm on Earth. How do you see your trajectory and the continuation of arm wrestling for you? Are you going to just try to keep an open mind and pull wherever, or will you always call AWE home, or are you ready to move on and want to get in a league like Pro Panja or something where you're maybe signing a contract, or East vs. West and sign a contract and you're strictly there?
So first of all, I'm absolutely blessed to be in this, to have these opportunities. I mean, there's people that's been fighting for these opportunities for years and then don't get to it. So I'm really blessed to have these opportunities. And I think at the end of the day, opportunity is key. Wherever you get opportunity, attack it at 100% and use your talents at the best of your ability. I mean, it doesn't help to be a professional athlete and you don't compete anyway. So wherever I get the opportunity, and I understand that it could get difficult with contracts in the future and blah, blah, blah. But for now, I'm focusing on what I need to do, and I need to win and enjoy every single step of the way.
No, that is awesome. Coming up in arm wrestling so quickly, what are tips and tricks that you could get other guys that maybe haven't got the exact opportunity, or how could you say, like, maybe give them an idea on how to promote themselves that they could put themselves out there better?
Okay, for sure. I've spoken about this a few times on different podcasts, but I think today I'll be a bit more specific, just so that everyone can understand 100%. So first of all, understand that I'm also a new guy. I haven't been doing this for a significant amount of time. So if you're a guy that loves arm wrestling and you just want to do it for the fun, this is the one guy. Be on the table as much as you possibly can. Enjoy the sport. I mean, arm wrestling is about getting on the table. If you want to be the best or want to progress in arm wrestling and be someone someday, and not just a guy that enjoys it, I think it's really important to assess what your body needs and how your body reacts to your training. So in that case, I think it's important to be on the table at least once every 2 weeks. I mean, in my case, I don't arm wrestle anytime. I haven't gripped up once in my prep for Pablo, and that's the absolute truth. And it's exactly the same with Wallace as well. I don't get on the table. My sponsor is Arm King Australia. They supply arm wrestling tables and pulley systems and handles. And with that, I can simulate any single arm wrestling movement I want to. And I can work with it. I mean, I think it's really important that when you work out on the table, your opponent has to understand of what you need and what you want and how you feel. And sometimes we don't get that. We go to a practice and we redline about 120 times in one night, and that's not even an exaggeration. That's the truth. And how can you expect your body to be 100% tomorrow? And that's the key. Is if you want to be the best, your body has to be 100% every single day, so that you can do something and work on something every day. And that's why weights has been helping me out. I mean, I can do different stuff different stuff every single day and become better in it. Where if I arm wrestle, every single chain of me is broken down. I can't even bench or any of that, and I have to do blood flow for 3 to 4 days. Is that beneficial? Probably in the long run. But if you have to bounce back and get better and stronger soon, I think work with weights and listen to your body.
Oh, that's an awesome answer. So you definitely take more of the Reno Masick route than a lot of the others, because then you have Devin Laird, on the other hand, arm wrestling 4 nights a week.
Yeah. I mean, if I could do it, I promise you I would. But I think that it's easy for someone that is doing that to tell someone else to do that. But in the meantime, Devin has been training arm wrestling for years with weights, for years. And he's built up everything to be strong enough to do that. And yes, Devin is a special athlete. You can't just ignore that. He's a special athlete, and that's why he's probably able to do it. I mean, exactly the same case as his son. He can also arm wrestle for a significant amount of time, but it's I think you have to be a special athlete, and I do think you can work yourself up to it. I do think that, and probably that's the way they would like to go with it. But for me, and I think the average guy, I think look after yourself. Don't damage yourself too much, and listen to your body. Listen to your body.
Well, thank you so much for coming on tonight, Riekerd. It's been a pleasure having you on. What are some words that you have for your fans, for your family back home, and for those that are watching you?
No. Thank you so much for having me on, my friend. I truly appreciate it. I think it's always important to get out there and to tell everyone your story and what it's about for yourself. I just want to give a big thanks to my fans for always sending me messages, asking for advice, giving me the support that I need. I think it's really important to feel that you have someone backing you, especially when you're facing someone and you have 0% chance of winning them. And then for my family back home, I love you guys so much. 2 weeks time, I'm gonna make you guys proud, and I'm bringing back the belt. So you guys must have a good one. And once again, thank you for having me on. It's nice to meet you, buddy.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, and I can't wait to watch you beat Pavlo Deverdenyev this coming Friday.
There we go. There we go. Thank you, my friend.
It's been awesome.